Good morning, everybody. We are very glad to be the first panel today at COP27 in the Turkish pavilion coming together. Great to see you all. As we are here all, we are observing the discussions around climate justice this time in COP27. This seems to be the center of attention this year, climate justice, which means we are expecting to see developed countries to fund developing countries' climate adaptation, which means we have to mobilize more private sector. And if we mobilize private sector, how do we know that the projects we are delivering are going to be good enough or impactful enough to deliver climate action? How are we going to serve it? So, from which targets are we going to meet while we are delivering these projects? ETKİAP is hosting this event today, and ETKİAP is the impact investing platform of Turkey, which is basically advocating for impact investing and has attained an expertise in impact measurement and impact management so far. And today, as ETKİAP, we have measured and assured and reported 3 different projects from 3 different regions and 3 different sectors that we are going to today exhibit these projects on an evidence-based approach. So we have the evidence to tell you how we delivered it, or depending on what, and to what evidence. According to, and the topic is, as you can see on the top, is women empowerment for climate resilience. UNFCCC, as we all know, and many reports and studies show us that we have to include all demographics to succeed in the climate action. And when we look into the reports, we see that women are the most vulnerable group in terms of climate action. So we are going to discuss today women empowerment. How does it serve for climate resilience? I have four brilliant panelists today who actually delivered, who measured and delivered these projects, and they're going to tell their own stories today. So all these stories are evidence-based. We have three stories from Turkey, and we also have a global institution who will tell their story in Turkey, in the Turkey operation, and basically in South Asia. So let me first introduce my panelists. We have Gülün Yücel from Etkiyap. She acts as the member of Etkiyap, member of the board, and she's also the managing partner of BRICA Sustainability. We have Orhan Bey from İGA Istanbul Airport. He's the sustainability director. And we have Dori Kiss here from Tekven Foundation, and Duygu Ercan Morel from Globeside. And their perspective are, of course, different, every one of them. And we will just observe their perspective as we proceed. So I am first going to go to Gülün, asking her about the microfinance program that has delivered in Turkey for the last 20 years. So Turkish Grameen microfinance program has been delivering the microfinance program for the last 20 years among almost 30,000 women every year, per year. And Etkiyap has measured the project and reported these projects. Among these projects, TGMP, the Turkish Grameen Microfinance Program, stands out, which was given to women in the 7 regions of Turkey, and with a 100% return rate, which is very important. What makes the program reliable and viable? Although there are no collaterals required, because when we look at women, when we are providing a credit or a loan, the collaterals is the first thing that's to be asked. And without collaterals, there's a 100% return. How does it happen? What's the commonality between these women in different regions? What are their profile? And what do they need? And in what way TGMP changed their lives, status, and then made them kind of the breadwinner of the household? The floor is yours, Gülün.
Thank you, Shafak. Great to be here with you. Well, the topic at discussion is climate, and our task here is to be able to describe why are the proved cases, impact measured cases, how women empowerment can contribute to climate tackling. Well, this is a big agenda, but looking back at the numbers, women constitute 3/4 of the world poor. They are among, the least educated are among women. We know that in case of extreme weather events, when casualties happen, 70–80% of the fatalities are among women. This is due to the traditional roles of women, and this is due to their traditional, again, acceptance to stay home. This is making them become less educated and less acceptable in the business world. They are financially the least advantageous group. This project with Turkish Grameen Bank is actually trying to demonstrate that women can be in power economically, not via grants, because we know that grants cannot be that powerful. In our country, in Turkey, grants exist for the elderly, for the disabled, but this impact investment type that Turkish Grameen has adopted is actually making women be business owners. This is coming in terms of microcredits. Let me tell you how the system works for those of you who do not know. Well, you have to be in a group of women who are coming with low income or no income at all. You apply for the credits via a group of women, and the grants are the credits are given to these group of women. They start with last year's numbers, 1,500 Turkish liras, and if they're successful within that year, then they're eligible to get up to 15,000 Turkish liras within a year or so. These group of women actually meet regularly, either in the offices of the Turkish Gramian or in their houses. With the money they get, with the credit they get, they are able to purchase the materials so that they can start up their own businesses. But once they meet with each other, they listen from each other. They learn how to deal with business. They receive guidance from each other. And further, this is making them socially liable to pay back their debt, the credit that they have received from Turkish Gramian. So, and if one is not able to actually pay back that debt, the others are responsible for mutually bringing up that debt. This is a great system, making them liable, making them learn from the system itself, so that the snowballs really grow up within that cycle. The impact measurement is very critical. I mean, Turkish Gramian knew that this was a great initiative because it's a proven method created by Muhammed Yunus, Nobel laureate. But we know that there was actually impact there. They just didn't know how much. And that's where we as Etkiyap came into the picture. This system actually provides 100% repayment ratio, and as a consequence, this is giving economic freedom to these women. This is very important because in terms of economic freedom, we need to actually improve in Turkey. Among the 178 countries, Turkey's economic empowerment states as 76. So projects like these matter a lot for the economic empowerment of, or the financial freedom, economic freedom of Turkey and of the citizens in Turkey and worldwide. So within the 19 branches and 64 provinces, this project has demonstrated 1.2 billion of credit for about over 200,000 women. I will actually talk about how we measured it in the second part of my talk, if that's okay.
Thank you, Gülin. That was a great introduction. And from coming from nothing, from unbanked women having no bank accounts, to become the breadwinners of the household, which affects which has a macroeconomic effect as well, is a great achievement, and we know it now by numbers. This is really something. So I have on my left side Dori from Tekman Foundation, and her perspective is the access to women in agriculture, and as it's a recent project started in the Aegean coast in Turkey, and whilst the world is exposed to the climate crisis, the pandemic, and then the Ukraine war, how does the thinking of these facts, how does the project affect women, and how are women trained and equipped with new skills that will transform not only the sense of their personal story, but in terms of creating an added value for the economy as well? And how can you please make us realize, like, the before and an after effect of the project, realize and visualize the outcomes of the project?
Shukran, Shafak. I'm very happy to be able to do that in front of all of you. I'm here on behalf of TechFan Foundation, which is a private foundation owned by TechFan Holding and group companies. So they make the money, we invest it for rather a couple of good causes. The reason I am here is because what I'm going to talk about has been measured and proven to work. That's the main reason. There is one single number I would like to remember among everything I'll tell is every 1 Turkish lira we put, women got 6.47 out of it. 1 to 6.47. That is why I'm sitting here now. So what is it that we did? We've been part of what just Gülin talked about, women's microfinancing. We've been one of the financiers of the program in Turkey since 2014. And as of today, we have 2.6 thousand women benefiting from that. What we did, we took it a step further because that's a generic microfinance. Women do whatever they like with that money. But we made the specific new product only for the agricultural entrepreneurship, so women's farmers. What did we do? It's a tripartite collaboration with TISVA, the Microfinancing Foundation, TechFan Foundation, and one of our companies inside TechFan Holding, which is Toros Agri, one of the largest agricultural input producers of the country. So it is not just a loan. Our loan is a little bit higher than the generic loan because it has been calculated based on how much money would one woman need should she want to do any farming on her little land. So first, we actually made some calculations, feasibility studies, and then we said it's 10,000 liras. But then TISVA took it further and they made a very flexible one. So basically the loans that we gave were from 5,000 to 12,000 liras for a woman based on her specific project, whether she would grow strawberry or eggplant. But this is just not a basic loan. It comes with a financial literacy education as well as a basic education about agriculture, basic do's and don'ts in the garden. Plus, our people, our agricultural engineers were monitoring all these women's work throughout the season.